Yeah, my name's Will Thompson. I'm the head farmer for the Carter and Spencer Group, and this farm is Spencer Ranch at Wallaville. We grow the full range of citrus, so our season starts with lemons and limes, and then we roll into mandarins, then a late mandarin, and then we also grow oranges as well. The highlight for us is actually the pleasure in growing the fruit, actually being able to deliver a good product, and then actually getting feedback from consumers in the major cities that have actually eaten our produce, and then sending Facebook messages and photos that they've loved our produce for whatever reason. Probably some of the tougher experiences we've gone through over the last several years. We went from drought, we then obviously have had Paradise Dam, with the Queensland government actually taking almost 6 metres of the height off that and taking away our water security, followed by 2022 where we had several bouts of torrential rain, 600 millimetres of rain in a 24-hour period at one time, which this farm has never seen. So we routinely, as part of our business, do a valuation every 3 to 4 years. Two reasons on that. We've gone through quite a large expansion process since 2008. So given the fact that it takes 5 years for a tree to be commercially viable and start producing fruit that we can sell, it's handy to know that the money that we've actually invested is actually adding to the baseline value of the farm, which means that our banks are actually confident if we go to them and say, look, we were looking at this further expansion, we're looking at this investment, we're looking at this acquisition, or potentially a joint venture in new technologies, that they'll actually, in a very short turnaround, come to us because we routinely have a valuation that's not that far from being current. The other reason is occasionally, particularly at the moment, with so many properties changing hands throughout Queensland and throughout regional Australia, we've actually had several approaches in the last 12 to 18 months on whether we'd actually be interested in selling. So it's good for us to actually have a current valuation so that we know exactly where we sit right at the start of the conversation, so we know whether we're talking to a genuine investor or a genuinely interested party, or whether it's someone that's just tire kicking. We use Shane and the team at Acumentis because we've actually found over the last it's almost 10 years that they've been doing the valuations for the company, that they're the one valuers that are actually boots on the ground. They're actually going throughout the regions and they're actually getting individual informations on the crops that we're actually growing. So they're not just trying to apply a small crops valuation to tree crops. They're not just relying on ringing up a real estate agent and going, oh, I saw you sold 8 hectares of citrus at South Callan a couple of months ago, what did you sell that for? So the team is actually across the larger sales, they're across what the market is actually doing, they're across what the costs are actually doing, and that just comes across in the reports. So when we actually put the report to our banks or potential purchasers, they've got confidence in it, which means we've got confidence in it. Funnily enough, lemons on top of freshly caught snapper on the barbecue.
That would be very delicious actually.
What am I doing on the weekend? Going fishing.